Virgo, you felt it, haven't you? That strange tension around someone you used to trust. Their words sound sweet, but something in your gut screams, this isn't real. You try to ignore it, but the unease keeps growing. It's not a coincidence. Their mask is slipping and you're about to see the truth they've been hiding all along. This isn't just about them. It's about you finally trusting what you've known all along. And once you do, everything changes. Virgo, has there been a conversation lately that just didn't sit right with you? Maybe it was a text, a short call, or maybe a strange moment of silence that said more than words ever could. Something in your body reacted before your mind could catch up. You don't even know why. But it left you thinking. That felt off. And no, you're not being dramatic. That was your intuition picking up what logic hasn't explained yet. Before we dive deeper, I want you to do one thing. Drop the first letter of the name of the person who made you feel that shift. Just one letter in the comments. Because sometimes naming the energy helps release it. You're not alone in this. Virgo, let's be honest, something has changed. You've started feeling drained after your interactions. You walk away from conversations feeling foggy, not clear. You keep asking yourself, why do I feel like I'm carrying something that isn't mine? That's not anxiety. That's your body reacting to emotional dishonesty. Someone has been presenting one version of themselves to you, while hiding another. And you, being the loving, generous soul that you are, have been trying to fill in the blanks, make excuses for their gaps, and believe the best. But here's the truth your spirit already knows. It's been trying to tell you. And now, the mask is slipping, the cracks are showing, and soon, everything that was hidden is going to come to the surface. You're not crazy. You're not paranoid. You're prepared. Stay with me, Virgo, because what you're about to find out will confirm everything your heart has been whispering all along. Virgo, have you noticed how the tension around a certain person has been slowly building like a pressure cooker about to burst? It's been subtle at times, a missed detail here, a story that didn't quite line up there. You've brushed it off, told yourself you were being too harsh, maybe even accused yourself of overthinking. But your gut has been nudging you for weeks now, hasn't it? And let's be real, you know your instincts never lie. That strange feeling in your stomach when they walk into the room, the way your body subtly tenses when they talk, it's not random, it's not in your head. It's your internal alarm system picking up inconsistencies and quietly screaming for your attention. Maybe it started with small things. They say they went one place, but a mutual friend casually mentions they were somewhere else. Or they give you an excuse for why they didn't show up, but their social media tells another story. Their words are sweet, but their eyes flicker with discomfort. You've noticed, Virgo, even if you tried to ignore it, your subconscious logged every detail. The uneven laugh, the nervous hand gestures, the pauses when you ask too specific a question. And now, the signs are coming faster, sharper, louder. This isn't just your imagination, it's a pattern, and patterns don't lie. You've probably been waking up feeling more drained lately, feeling off after conversations with them. That's your energy reacting to the misalignment. That's your system trying to flush out what no longer feels true. And the truth, their mask is slipping, slowly, then suddenly. One day, very soon, they'll slip up big. Say the wrong thing at the wrong time to the wrong person, and it won't be a crack in the story anymore. It'll be a collapse. Their carefully curated image is starting to unravel, and the pieces they've juggled so well are beginning to drop. What's powerful here, Virgo, is not just the fact that you're seeing through it, but that you always have. You've just been too compassionate to call it out, too patient, too willing to wait for proof. But you don't need smoking guns anymore. You've already seen the signs. What you need now is to trust them, to own the knowing, to stop second-guessing your brilliance and start preparing for what happens next. Because when the reveal comes, and it will, you'll have the clarity and emotional strength to walk away without chaos, without drama, without doubt. Take this moment to check in with your body. How do you feel around this person energized? Or does your spirit shrink a little each time they speak? Your body has been storing the truth you're too kind to say aloud. It's time to stop minimizing what you feel. Your perception is not a flaw, it's a gift. And soon, that gift is going to save you a whole lot of pain. Because while the world applauds masks, you were built to see through them. And in this situation, your sight is not only your power, it's your protection. Let me give you an example. There was a Virgo client I once knew, sharp, intuitive, deeply kind. She spent over a year trying to make sense of the lies her partner told her. She doubted herself so many times, but her body knew before her brain caught up. Every time he spoke, she felt a pit in her stomach. She thought she was overthinking, but the truth finally came to light. He had a second life. And you know what she said when it was over? I always knew, just like you do. So take this as your wake-up call, not a warning. You don't need to wait for the explosion to believe in the fire. You've smelled the smoke for weeks. Virgo, when the truth finally hits, it won't just knock on your door, it'll blow it wide open. You've spent so much time trying to hold things together, giving the benefit of the doubt, choosing peace over confrontation. But this is going to shake you. When the mask falls, you'll feel a tidal wave of emotions. And it's okay. You're human. Even the most intuitive souls get hurt when the truth arrives too loudly. First comes the shock. Even if you suspected it, even if you saw the signs, there's still... And then comes the anger. Not just at them, but at yourself. Why didn't I listen to my gut sooner? Why did I keep hoping they'd prove me wrong? You'll replay every moment, every strange pause, every contradiction, and realize how many times your soul whispered to you, and you told it to quiet down. That anger, it's not weakness. It's your spirit standing up for you. It's the energy you need to shift from confusion to clarity. But after the fire burns, something beautiful emerges. Relief. It's like stepping out of a smoky room and taking your first deep breath in years. You'll no longer have to carry the weight of uncertainty. You'll finally see things clearly. No more guessing, no more pretending. You'll realize just how much energy you were spending trying to hold together something that was already broken. And in that moment, Virgo, you'll feel something click inside you, a return to your power. And then comes empowerment. The kind that doesn't need revenge or drama, but simply says, I choose myself now. You'll walk differently, breathe deeper, look at people through a cleaner lens. You'll realize that this wasn't just about catching someone in a lie. It was about reclaiming the space within yourself that had been occupied by doubt. Doubt in them, doubt in you. But that doubt dissolves when the truth arrives, and all that's left is wisdom. You know what's powerful, Virgo. You won't need closure from them. You won't need an apology. You'll give that closure to yourself, because your healing isn't dependent on their recognition of what they did. It's rooted in your recognition of who you are. And who you are is someone who saw through the illusion, even if it took time to accept it. Let me tell you about a Virgo I once knew, quiet, soft-spoken, the kind of person who always gave second chances. She was blindsided by a close friend's betrayal. For months, she blamed herself, but when the truth finally came out, she didn't explode, she exhaled. That breath filled with grief and grace was the moment she came back to herself. That moment is coming for you too, so when the wave hits, don't run from it. Let it wash over you. Let the sadness, the shock, the anger all move through. But don't stay there. Because what's waiting on the other side is a version of you that's more grounded, more discerning, more powerful than ever before. You're not just finding out the truth about them, you're discovering a deeper truth about yourself. And that's the real gift. You might find yourself crying in the shower, staring at the ceiling in disbelief, or laughing out loud at how obvious it all seems in hindsight. These are not signs of weakness. They are signs of release. The weight you've carried for so long is finally being lifted. Let it go. And as you let it go, don't forget to celebrate the strength it took to reach this point. You didn't just survive the lie, you learned from it. And that learning is what will shape the way you show up for yourself moving forward. Virgo, let's talk about something most people overlook: your intuition. It's not just a quiet nudge or a passing feeling. For you, it's a full-bodied experience. It shows up in the way your skin tightens when something's off, in how your stomach clenches when someone's words don't match their energy, in how your heart races when you sense a lie before it's spoken. You've been taught to brush it aside, to be logical, to rely on facts. But the truth is, your intuition has always been a compass, one that points. For so long, you may have silenced that inner voice. Maybe it made you uncomfortable. Maybe you were told you were too sensitive or too judgmental, so you tried to be more agreeable, more understanding, more patient. But let's be real. That voice inside you, it's never steered you wrong. In fact, every time you went against it, you paid the price. Whether it was a bad friendship, a toxic job, or trusting someone you shouldn't have, your intuition always saw it coming. Think back to moments when you felt uneasy for no clear reason, when everyone else seemed fine with the situation, but you felt something hidden beneath the surface. You weren't imagining it, you were perceiving it. And the longer you denied that perception, the more disconnected you became from yourself. That disconnection, it wasn't because you lost your intuition, it's because you stopped honoring it. But now, something's changing. You're being called back to your inner knowing. The universe is sending you signs, dreams, synchronicities, even discomfort to guide you home to yourself. It's saying, trust what you feel. Don't wait for proof. The more you follow that inner sense, the more peace you'll find. Because when you listen to your intuition, you stop wasting time on people and paths that aren't meant for you. Let me tell you a story. A Virgo I know once ignored her instincts about a business partner. The numbers looked good. The opportunity sounded solid. But something inside her felt off. She kept going anyway, until everything fell apart and she was left picking up the pieces. Years later, she told me, I knew it. I felt it in my bones. I just didn't trust myself. That moment taught her more than any seminar ever could. And now, she never makes a decision without checking in with her gut first. That's what this chapter of your life is about. Remembering that your intuition isn't separate from your intelligence. It's a form of wisdom. It's ancient. It's sacred. And it's yours. When you treat it like the gift it is, your entire life upgrades. You begin to surround yourself with people who respect your clarity, not fear it. You attract situations that feel aligned, not forced. And most importantly, you begin to live in a way that feels real, not performative. Your gift of perception is like a lighthouse. Not everyone will appreciate its brightness. Some will even be intimidated by it. But those who belong in your world will be drawn to it, not threatened by it. So don't dim it to make others comfortable. Don't apologize for noticing too much or sensing too deeply. Your intuition is not an inconvenience. It's a superpower. and it's time you started using it like one. And here's another truth that most people won't admit: your intuition can't be explained to those who've never trusted their own. They'll call you paranoid, dramatic, or too much. But deep down, you know what's real, and you don't need their validation anymore. You weren't meant to follow the crowd or silence yourself to keep others comfortable. You were meant to lead, energetically, to feel what's unspoken, to call out what's false. That's your role. That's your gift. And the more you embrace it, from this point forward, Virgo, let trusting your intuition be your baseline. Let it be your filter for who enters your space, who earns your time, and who deserves your loyalty. Because when you choose to live this way intuitively, unapologetically, you don't just avoid deception, you attract clarity, alignment, and peace. The kind of peace that comes from being exactly where you're supposed to be, surrounded only by truth. Virgo, let's be honest. You've spent a lifetime being the one who shows up, the reliable one, the fixer, the healer, the one who stays late, answers the late-night texts, puts out the emotional fires others start, and still manages to ask how everyone else is doing. But recently, something's shifted. You've started to feel tired, not just physically, but emotionally. And not the kind of tired that sleep fixes. It's the tired that comes from constantly being available to people who wouldn't do the same for... There's a voice inside you now, a quiet but firm one, saying, I can't do this anymore. And that voice is not weakness, it's wisdom. You're beginning to understand something sacred, that your energy is not infinite, and not everyone deserves a seat at your table just because they ask for it. You're not here to be everyone's safety net. Virgo, you're here to live in alignment. And alignment means surrounding yourself with people who pour back into you. Not just take and take and take. This is your moment of shift from the helper to the discerner, from the overgiver to the self-honorer. It doesn't mean you'll stop being kind. It means your kindness will finally have boundaries. It means your yes will be intentional. It means you'll stop feeling guilty for saying no when your soul needs rest. And let's be real, some people will not like this new you, because the version of you that bends and breaks to keep the peace was more convenient. But that version of you was also exhausted. You might start to notice how certain people respond when you set boundaries, how the ones who truly care respect your limits, while others try to push past them. That reaction, it's data. It shows you exactly who's been here for your energy, not your essence. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. But don't grieve that clarity, celebrate it, because it's going to save you years of being stuck in unbalanced dynamics. Let me give you an example. A Virgo friend once told me, I used to think love meant never saying no. Now, I know love also means knowing when to stop saying yes. That wisdom came after years of burnout, betrayal, and realizing that being everything for everyone left her with nothing for herself. But now she's radiant, she's respected, and most of all, she's free. Virgo, this isn't just a phase, it's a graduation. You're being promoted to a higher version of yourself, one where your presence is a privilege, not a given, where your energy is precious, not taken for granted, where your boundaries don't make you less loving, they make your love more sustainable. You don't need to explain this shift to anyone. Just live it. Let your actions speak. Let your new peace be louder than your old people-pleasing, because in the end, the people who are meant for you will meet you at your frequency. They won't need you to overextend or over-explain. They'll simply honor the evolved version of you. And that's the kind of connection you've always deserved. You've always given love generously. Now, you're learning to give it wisely. That doesn't make you harsh, it makes you whole. And from this wholeness, you will create deeper, more honest, more beautiful connections than ever before. You're not losing your softness, Virgo. You're just learning where to place it. You're Virgo. After everything you've been through, the realizations, the boundary setting, the reclaiming of your energy, you're stepping into a new phase, a more empowered one. But that doesn't mean challenges won't arise. In fact, this next chapter requires even more awareness, because now that you've cleared space in your life, the universe is going to test your discernment. You're going to meet new people. Opportunities will come, connections will form, and with each one, you'll have to ask, is this aligned? So how do you spot the inauthentic early on for a Virgo? It's not about what people say, it's about what they show. You've always had an eye for patterns, for inconsistencies. Use that. When someone tells you they value honesty but avoids accountability, that's a red flag. When their story changes slightly every time they tell it, pay attention. When they speak beautifully but their actions never follow through, that's your cue. You're not judging, you're observing. And your observations are valid. You might find that certain people try to mirror you. They'll reflect your values, your interests, even your language. And at first, it feels like connection, but look deeper. Is it real resonance? Or are they just trying to become what they think you want? True alignment doesn't require performance. It's effortless, mutual, and rooted in consistency. And you, Virgo, are learning to wait for that kind of connection, not chase chemistry that fades under scrutiny. Let me tell you about another Virgo story. She met someone who seemed perfect, charming, spiritual, emotionally intelligent. But over time, cracks appeared. He used her empathy as a weapon. He told her what she wanted to hear, then acted in ways that contradicted it. She felt crazy trying to make sense of it, until one day, she stopped analyzing him and started trusting her own signals. That's when everything became clear. She wasn't confused. She was being misled. And the moment she accepted that, she walked. That's what this part of your journey is about. Trusting your own clarity more than someone else's charm. Choosing what's real over what's seductive. And giving yourself full permission to walk away from anything that doesn't feel grounded. You don't owe anyone continued access just because they seem nice. Your energy is your responsibility, and your gift is your filter. You're not just protecting your peace anymore. You're curating your reality. The people who enter now must meet your new standard truth, consistency, and reciprocity. If someone can't be honest when it's uncomfortable, can't respect your boundaries, or can't show up without hidden motives, they're not for you. And here's the thing that doesn't make them bad. It just makes them incompatible with your frequency. Let them go in peace. Your soul has other work to do. You've learned that performance has a shelf life, that masks always crack, that energy never lies. So moving forward, pay attention not just to words, but to how you feel after spending time with someone. Are you lighter, calmer, or do you feel drained, confused, unsure? That's your body speaking. Listen to it. Let it be part of your decision-making. Because Virgo, your gift isn't just in spotting the lie, it's in honoring the truth. And now that you know better, you'll never settle for less again. Virgo, there's going to be a moment, one single moment, when everything finally clicks. All the signs you've picked up on, all the gut feelings you've been suppressing, every inconsistency you've silently noted, it will all come together. You won't need an argument, a confession, or some grand exposure. You'll just see it, clear as day, and it will be undeniable. This isn't the kind of clarity that creeps in slowly. It's the kind that hits like lightning, that wakes you up from a long emotional sleep. And what happens next? That's the part people often forget to talk about, the aftermath of truth. Because once the illusion shatters, you're left with silence, with space, with the question, Now what? That's when you'll realize you've changed. You're not just reacting to what happened. You're evolving because of it. Your standards shift. Your energy becomes more refined. You begin to notice that you're no longer available for confusion, for emotional labor that isn't reciprocated, for anyone who makes the biggest shift of all. You start trusting yourself again, fully, fiercely. Because the revelation didn't just expose their lie, it confirmed your truth. It showed you that your intuition isn't a whisper in the background. It's a siren, a sacred compass. And from this point on, you'll never mute it again. You'll start living with a sense of ownership over your energy. No more over-explaining. No more shrinking yourself to keep the peace. You'll let your boundaries speak before you do. In the days after the reveal, you may feel grief, not just over the person or the situation, but over the time you spent doubting yourself. Let that grief move through you. Let it teach you, because embedded in that sorrow is the power to never go back to who you were before this. You're not bitter, you're clear. You're not hard, you're wise. And your clarity will now serve as a filter for everything you allow into your life. Here's what I want you to carry with you. This moment was never about them. It was about you remembering your gift, reclaiming your perception, stepping into a chapter where you choose yourself without guilt. That's the true ending here, not just the falling of a mask, but the rising of your own voice. The world will adjust. The right people will stay. The wrong ones will fade. And you'll walk forward not with fear, but with conviction. So Virgo, before you go, I want you to pause and ask yourself something. Have you already started feeling it? That low hum of truth building inside you, that shift in your nervous system, that subtle but growing urge to detach from the noise and lean into your knowing. If yes, then this moment, this video isn't just a message, it's confirmation. Now, here's what I want you to do. Go to the comments. Share just one word that describes what this truth means for you. Maybe it's freedom. Maybe it's finally. Maybe it's peace. Whatever it is, speak it out loud. Claim it. Because when you name a shift, you anchor it. And Virgo, you've earned this one. Let your clarity echo. Let your wisdom lead. And don't stop here. There's more coming. More lessons. More awakening. But for now, rest in the truth you've just uncovered. You saw through the mask. You trusted the whisper. And now, you walk in truth fully, freely, and without apology. Some of you may even realize this pattern has repeated more than once with different faces, different names, but the same emotional script. That recognition isn't failure, it's freedom. Because now you see it clearly. You're not destined to repeat the cycle, you're being called to end it. And that ending, it starts with honoring your own voice louder than anyone else's.